Hi, I'm Maggie Mestrich, the Director of Business Development for the Carmel Swim Club and Carmel Swim Academy. We share stories and experiences from our CSC alumni as a way to demonstrate the incredible, long-lasting impact that swimming, and specifically swimming with Carmel Swim Club, can have on your life. Today, I am talking with Tylor Gauger. Hi, Tylor. How are you?
Hi, Maggie. I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thank you for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
I am looking forward to chatting with you.
Me too.
All right. Are you ready?
I am. Yep.
Okay. Can you place yourself within the context of Carmel swimming? When did you start? How long did you do it? Etc.
Yeah, of course. So I was kind of a late starter to Carmel, not swimming. So I'm from Kokomo, which is about an hour north of Carmel. So I did all my kind of early age group swimming in Kokomo, and then made my way down a little further south and swam in Westfield for a little bit. Yeah. And then I think it was the summer before my freshman year of high school is when I actually started swimming for Carmel. So I swam for them throughout high school, and then when I was in college, I actually came back a decent amount and still swam for Carmel Swim Club during that time as well.
That's when I got to meet you, so that was always fun. I enjoyed that. I just remember good conversations in the weight room with you.
Exactly.
So you made your way down 31, and you kept going, because where are you now? You can share geographically, professionally, personally, whatever you care to share.
Exactly. So I ended up swimming at Notre Dame, so was there swam for all 4 years, and then after that I went to dental school at the University of Michigan, and that was a 4-year program, and then now I'm here finishing up my last of 4 years of oral and maxillofacial surgery residency at IU, which is based at all the hospitals in downtown Indy.
Yeah, and do you have an idea of what is next as residency is ending here?
Yeah, yep. So I just recently signed with a private practice group in the Chicago suburbs. Really exciting. I know a lot of my classmates from Notre Dame are there, so I'll have a big group of friends who are there, and actually a family in Wisconsin as well as here in Indiana, so it's a good midpoint in between those two. So
definitely, that's good. All right, let's bring it back a little bit now. Can you share some of your earliest memories of being around the water? It doesn't have to be related to competitive swimming.
Yeah. So that's a pretty easy one for me. So my mom actually swam in college as well, so it was kind of in my blood. And I'm actually a triplet, so my mom wanted all three of us to be in the water at the same time. So we got taught to swim at a very early age. My mom worked at the YMCA in town, so we had available access to a pool right there. So my earliest memories are even ones that I don't remember from when I actually started learning, but all took place at the YMCA, and it kind of just went from there, really.
Yeah. How did you make that transition then? You learned to swim early.
Right.
What compelled you? Was it just mom's experience there? You had the siblings who were all learning. What compelled you to take that step to start swimming when you were in Kokomo competitively?
Yeah. So I was the one of the three of us that kind of went further with it. So my brother and sister actually both ended up diving in college, so they still stuck with the water.
Yeah.
I was the one who kind of went full speed ahead with swimming. And I did a few sports here and there, kind of just leisurely when I was younger, but I kind of basically when I was 10 kind of solidified swimming as my main sport, and from there kind of stuck with swimming solely. So it was kind of, I think my mom didn't really push any of us necessarily to swim, but I think she kind of developed that within me, and then I was the one.
She cultivated that love a little bit. Yeah. When you finally then came over to Carmel Swim Club during your time there, can you identify what the most significant lesson you learned during your time with Carmel Swim Club might be?
Yeah, for sure. So I learned a lot of lessons from Carmel swimming, even though I started at a later age. But I think the one thing that sticks out to me was the fact that you kind of have to be retrospective on your time with swimming. It's a sport that it's a grueling sport. It takes a lot of your time, and to be honest, a lot of times you aren't going to meet your goals. And for me, I didn't necessarily meet a lot of my swimming goals. I didn't make Olympic trials, for instance, which was a goal, but I always I prided myself on how hard I worked at practice, and I thought that was kind of something that I focused on, was always giving my all at practice, and it didn't necessarily translate over to the competitive meets necessarily. And I think Chris Plum always knew that, and kind of knew that work ethic that I had, and knew that I was frustrated with my progress at meets and whatnot. And I think I can't remember exactly at what point it was. It may have been right before going into college, or maybe even at the end of college when I was swimming with Carmel in the off seasons. He kind of sat down with me and was like, "Hey, Tyler," paraphrasing obviously, but he brought up the fact that swimming and like your whole career it's about the journey, not the destination. And I had never thought of it like that. And I reflected on kind of the people that I've met through Carmel swimming, all the work that everyone else had done for me to get to that place, my parents, coaches, everyone. And when you look at it, looking back on things, it's you realize how lucky you are to swim, and specifically swim for Carmel. So that's probably the main lesson that I learned from swimming, that you may not meet all of your goals, but the path that you take to get there is really kind of defines you, and defines how you move forward in life in general.
That gift of perspective is very important, and it takes some time and distance. As someone else who did not meet their goals, I understand. I think that's great. What advice or insight would you offer to current swimmers?
Yeah, so I think that when I saw this question, I had to think about this, but it kind of stems from the last question. Try to just enjoy every bit of time that you have with swimming or with Carmel, whether that be the good times or the bad times, because it's both of those experiences that are gonna develop traits in yourself that you can utilize in the future, near and in the long time future as well. And I think that a lot of the things that I learned through swimming have helped me get to the point where I am, whether that be time management, dedication, knowing what sacrifice is and what it entails to kind of be successful and meet your goals. And I think that that's probably my best advice, is to kind of develop those characteristics through swimming, but also don't take it too seriously. I mean, with Carmel, a lot of times you get those type A, like, I need to succeed in everything that I do. Fine, but you also have to realize that swimming isn't your life. Most people won't go on past high school or college, so but you can take away things from swimming that will really benefit you in your life, and kind of develop you into the person that you are.
Yeah, definitely. What would you tell somebody who was thinking about joining Carmel Swim Club?
Yeah, so I think for me, coming from as a kind of like an outsider initially from a different city, driving an hour away, and not being, I know a lot of my teammates kind of grew up with Carmel swimming, and swam throughout elementary, middle, and high school, and into college. I think for me, it's to not take for granted the tradition that Carmel has. And I think that whether you're starting, like, learning to swim with Carmel, or you're an Olympic trials qualifier, they can develop you into what you want to achieve as a swimmer. Which, again, kind of going back to what you do as a swimmer, and then how it can translate into your future life as well. So I think that that's a good emphasis that Carmel has is on developing you as a person through swimming, as opposed to just being a swimmer and only focused on swimming.
Well, there's that journey again. Swimming is the vehicle.
Yes, exactly.
It's not going to just take you to a swim meet. You gotta.
Yep.
I hope your life is bigger than that.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, at the time, I mean, I loved, like, swimming is fun.
Yeah.
Like, so it's enjoyable. You obviously the benefits of it health wise are great. It's just so much more, and I think Carmel really provides that outlet for you.
Definitely. Do you have a favorite Carmel swimming memory, or two or three, that you want to share?
I do. So my favorite Carmel swimming memory, well, maybe not my favorite, but the one that stands out most was, so I think I can't remember what year it was in high school, but it was the first time that I actually flew on an airplane. It was when we were flying to a swim meet in Austin, Texas. I think it was a Grand Prix swim meet. And it was the first time outside of Indiana. And actually, I think it may have been one of my first meets. So it may have been early in my Carmel. The first time wearing like the Carmel swim caps. So, you know, you have the blue, the white, and the red. And like growing up swimming in Indiana, obviously, you know about Carmel. And you always saw those caps and you're like deep down jealous because like, obviously they're really good. But being there and like being able to put on one of those caps and representing Carmel and kind of everything that it stands for was a really cool experience. And then obviously all the people that I've met, I still talk with a lot of my teammates, and just kind of the relationships you develop through swimming, specifically through Carmel, have been great, and they still continue to today. So
yeah, that's pretty great. Do you think there's anything, and I think your perspective on this will be nice since you've had experience other places, but anything people might be surprised to learn about Carmel Swim Club?
Yeah, I think, and so even when I first joined Carmel, people, even some of the swimmers were like, oh, like you're from an hour away. And I think people would be surprised to say that, like, there are a lot of people who drive or drove from far away to get to Carmel. And I guess that just shows you how good of a program Carmel is, and the kind of swimmers and people that they develop, that it's something that's really sought after. And I think that people would be surprised that there are people who travel, like maybe think they're a little crazy too, driving back and forth in one day, like hours away. So I think that's a cool aspect about Carmel, and that the fact that you'll meet different or people from different backgrounds, and it's just kind of a really cool experience that you probably won't be able to get at any other swim club really in Indiana. So
I think so. Well, and you said crazy, but I think committed. I mean, you were really, to be able to do that, that takes some wherewithal, especially as a high schooler. I mean, you think about all the other things that you could be doing with that time, but you were driven to be driving.
Yeah, and I always have to say this because I didn't get my license until a little later. So I was 18 when I got my license. So this was my parents driving me. So I always have to thank
family,
everyone else who was involved, because it was a commitment not only for me but for everyone else and my family and just all the people around me. So you have to give them kudos as well.
That's good. That's awesome. Anything else that you care to share today?
I don't think so. When I was looking at this, I was trying to think of something like funny or cool to add, but I think just if you're on the fence about joining or swimming in general, or joining Carmel Swim Club, I would encourage you to take that leap. I think it really, I mean, obviously they'll teach you how to swim, but even more so, they'll develop you and your character, and will kind of mold you into the person that you are now, or that you will be in the future. And you'll learn life skills that go far beyond the pool. So I think that it's for me, it's a no-brainer. So if you're on the fence, just jump over that fence and join. So
I love it. Thank you very much, Tylor.
Thank you very much.